Hello and welcome back into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you have been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Love the comments. I read almost every single comment that has been posted recently during the All-Star break. I took the past week off to recharge my batteries because every single game from this moment on, including tonight's game, which was a tremendous come-from-behind victory. The Knicks were down 19, and they came back from behind in Washington. At the Capital One Arena, Julius Randle dropped a career-high 46 points to show the world that he definitely is an MVP-worthy candidate. Number one, that he definitely is an all-star, and he might actually make a run for All-NBA once again. Once again. What we saw tonight was a master performance by Mr. Randle, and he had a major clutch three-point shot late in the fourth, something we've been wanting from him. In fact, in the fourth quarter, back-to-back, around it was like the 450 mark, from the 450 mark to the 420 mark, step back three right in front of Kuzma, did it again. Tremendous, because the Wizards didn't want to go away. They did not want to go away. In fact, the Knicks were down 99-100 when he hit that first three-pointer around not the first three-pointer in his game, but in that fourth quarter around 4:52 with 4:52 left or so, and then he brought the score up to 102-100. But then the Wiz were able to score. They tied it up, and Julius Randle once again stepped back from the right side. I think that one was closer towards, no, it was pretty much just below the break, above the corner. Swishes. Beautiful. Was it a swish? I think it was. 105-102. I got highlights for you guys. I'm going to break this game down, and we're going to talk about something real. As you can see right down below, right down there. Fourth seed possible? Absolutely. They did it once before. They can do it again. And in fact, a lot of what we're seeing is very similar to that season, except we have a better team, a much better team. And we also have a guy who should have been an all-star as our point guard, Jalen Brunson, who actually did not even have a good game tonight offensively, and the Knicks still won. They came back from behind from a team. The Wizards are a scrappy team. They're not going to go, well, I don't know about scrappy, but they got length, and they got Bradley Beal played tonight. They were pretty much at full strength, and KP got off to a tremendous start, 19 points. Didn't score again until some free throws late in the fourth. He got hurt. I don't know what happened to him. He left for a little bit. But let me tell you, my favorite play, even though there were a lot of really good plays, was Emmanuel quickly getting the ball in the right corner, and instead of forcing a shot up, he took it, beat his man, underhand scoop shot, rainbowed right in, beautiful, with about 2.5 minutes left in the game. Interesting thing, RJ Barrett, who actually had a pretty good second half, and he was a key player in that the beginning part of the fourth quarter when the Knicks were only up by 1 point. He was able to, with Obi in that bench unit, to extend the lead to like 4 or 5, I think maybe it was like 5 points, and then he was subbed out. And the Knicks struggled, like I told you. They struggled to make points. They struggled to have cohesion. They did not. They made some dumb fouls. Mitch Robinson, first game back for Mitch. That was great. He made a dumb foul on KP, pushed him out of bounds where he didn't need to. KP was under the basket. And then Josh Hart, a little too overzealous, plowed through KP on a screen. So that was another turnover. So it wasn't a turnover, but it was a foul right there. And then it sent him to the line. So those were the only points he got after the first quarter. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Knicks 115-109. They came back, won it by six, and this thing was tight in that second half because of Mr. Randle right there. Outstanding play for him. He was the lead scorer, career high 46 for him. Only 2 rebounds tonight. Mitch is back, so Mitch is there collecting the boards. And 2 assists, 2 steals. But you know what? Tonight wasn't the night for Randle to be looking for other players. Tonight was the night for him to be making buckets because he had his three-point shot cooking. He shot 7 of 12. 7 of 14 from the three-point line. 50% he shot from the three-point line. Excuse me. And IQ shot 3 of 6 from the three-point line. The two of them combined 10 of 20. It was great. They much needed because the rest of the team struggled from beyond the arc. Let's get to the next. Here we go. Eastern Conference. We're going to get back to this, but right now you can see the Knicks are in 6th place, only 1 game behind the Nets, who lost tonight, and Cavaliers got destroyed. They lost as well. Knicks are only 3 games back from 4th place. Miami also struggled. They fell a little further away from us. Man, I'm loving it. But the Hawks won tonight. Their first game without Nate McMillan. They won tonight. So they're a team to keep your eye on. To me, Miami, Hawks, and Toronto, and the Wizards, they're all right there for the play-in. So they're all going to be playing as hard as they can to get out of that play-in, to get into the playoffs. And so the Knicks. The Knicks are a scary team right now. Very scary. Let's get to the highlights. All right, it started off, little back and forth. Brunson just hit a bucket there. I think it was his first bucket. But he did struggle offensively for him. What did he finish with? He finished, let's see here. Brunson, 6 of 20. Missed all 3 of his three-point attempts. 13 points, 9 assists for him. Look, it's so great to see Mitch back. Mitch had 10 points, 12 boards, 5 of 6 from the field. Beautiful. Brunson, at least he came up with the 9 dimes. That were very important. RJ Barrett, 14 points, 5 of 10. 1 of 2 from the three-point line. Had some nice assists, 3 assists. Had some nice ones. 1 to Mitch. Little underhand pass to him as he drove to the basket for the dunk. I did some analysis on some numbers. I was going to actually put out a video during the break, but just couldn't find the time to put it together. But RJ has been the most impacted defensively by Mitch's absence. And it makes a little bit of sense since RJ has played with Mitch the most. RJ is and Randle as well, but RJ has played with him. He's become dependent on having him back there, except for the times when Mitch is out and he's hurt. But those times when Mitch has been out and hurt, he had Nerlens Noel, who played a very similar style to Mitch, not as impactful as Mitch, but similar. Basically, they're back there to protect the paint, and I think that's. RJ needs to make an adjustment on how he defends, and this game he actually did a nice adjustment. He was actually one of the few who was actually defending out on the perimeter in the first quarter while he was in there, and he had a very nice game overall defensively. Not going to shout it out too much, but it was a nice game for him. So it's interesting that he sat in that fourth quarter. I think it was a good decision for Thibs to sit him down. Oh, this was an interesting play right here. Look at this. Boom! Beautiful. Randle had some monster moves tonight. I hope they show him here. Look, we were once down. Look, even with all that said, we're down 14 here with only 2 minutes left. The beautiful thing is the Knicks went on a 10-0 run from this point on to close it to 64-60. They were only down 4 at the half. Here's another play. Boom. 3. Swish. Randle in that three-point contest. It must have helped him. The beautiful thing about having Randle as an all-star, remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but he has said himself that when he has a layoff, he comes back rusty. He's just not quite in game. He doesn't have that in-game sharpness. Well, possibly because of the All-Star game this year, he was able to stay focused, and he came out just firing away. I mean, that was one of the rare misses he had tonight. Oh, we got burned on that break right there. So you can see, look, the Wizards kept hanging around. We built the lead up to 6, and then Denny Avdia does that. Boom. Embarrassment. Miscommunication right there. And then Randle comes around. Which one's this? Oh, yeah, this is just bully ball. Pure bully ball. Bully ball, but with touch. I've been impressed by Randle's touch this season. I mean, tremendously. Here we go. Here's another one. Look at this. I love the way he slid in, just totally punished Kuzma. Oh, beautiful right there. So, but we're still close game, 86-85. Even though we were able to, oof. Then we gave up the lead right there. All right, here's one. Oh, that was a big 3-point shot. I think that was like quickly, right? Yeah, that was quickly. So here we go. The beginning of the fourth, Knicks are up by 1. And I think that was that Wizards guy. What is his name? Wright. Man, DeLon Wright. 15 points, 5 of 7. All right, let me go here. I was looking for. Oh yeah, so still 91 all. Beautiful swish. Look at that pass to Obi right there. Awesome. So while I think at this point, now, yeah, Hart's back. Hart's in there. RJ's in there. Nice little breakaway. The Knicks build up a little bit of a lead, 97-91. 6-point lead right here. And then they gave up that one. That one hurt a little bit. KP's back in this game. Finds Kuzma out for a big 3-point bucket right there. Now at this point, RJ is off the court. And it took some tremendous heroics by Randle in that fourth quarter. Like I pointed out, those two 3-point shots, which I'm pretty sure they're going to show him here. Brunson, though, did hit a monster turnaround bank, layup, like kind of like about a 4-footer off the backboard in traffic. It was huge. The lead was only 2 right there. That's the one. That's the first one that I described. And here's the second one. Step back. Boom! And the Knicks never gave up the lead after this point. That was it. And this might be... Oh, this is the underhand scoop. Look at that. IQ. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So it was IQ, Hart, Mitch, Brunson, and Randle to close the game out. But yet, only a 3-point game, and then they tied it. Bradley Beal, major mistake right there by the Knicks defense, left him wide open. This is the play I was talking about. Look, Brunson somehow doesn't travel, keeps the pivot down. The game was actually tied right there. So we get a 2-point lead, and then Randle, with one of his 2 assists of the night, finds Mitch under the basket, and that pretty much was all she wrote. Love it. I love this. Now, you know what? Let me plow through the stats here, and then we'll get back to this standings here. You can see Barrett ended up with 14 points, but the second high score of the game after Randle was Emmanuel Quickley, 6 of 11 for him, 3 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. Only one dime for him, 16 points. He hit some monster clutch buckets for him, man. The whole team played well. Look at the team shot almost 49% from the field and 41.4% from the 3-point line, but only 29 attempts. Again, we need more 3-point attempts. One of the reasons why the game was still close. So when you're hitting 3-point shots, you got to keep hitting, got to keep taking them. Because when you look at what the Wizards did, well, here, before we get to that, we'll look at the plus minus. The leader in plus minus, no surprise, Mitch Robinson, a plus 13. When he's on the court, the Knicks are one of the top defensive teams in the league. We create stops, and then we got Brunson, Randle, and the others to make buckets. So this was a nicely balanced victory here. 5 guys in double figures, and the bench, every single person off the bench scored tonight. Even though Obi only had 2 points, he was a -2. But I thought he actually played a pretty decent game himself. Eric Day. Excuse me for the coughing. So as you can see here, the Wizards, they put up 44 3-point attempts. 19 of 44. They connected on 43%. And the Knicks still were able to win this game. Beautiful. And they almost shot 50% overall. Here we go. So these are the leaders, the game leaders. You can see the arc of the game here from quarter for quarter. Knicks were down 11. Then they made up for it. They finished a +7 in that second quarter, so they went down. It was 64-60 going into the half, down 4, and then that third quarter, which was kind of a seesaw third quarter, but they were able to they were able to build up a little bit of lead through that third quarter, and then kind of gave it back at the end of it, and they ended up they were only up by 1 going into that fourth quarter. But the beautiful execution and the hustle plays, which unfortunately I don't think you saw many of them in those highlights, by Josh Hart in that fourth quarter. Even though he only gave us 5 points tonight, he gave us tremendous hustle. He poked the ball away at one time off an offensive rebound that the Wizards got. He poked it away to create another a possession for the Knicks. And then he did it again. He did it twice. That was outstanding. And he also, at one point, he just dove on the floor. It was fantastic hustle. Those kind of plays are momentum killers, and for the opposition when they're trying to get over the hump and take the lead again. Fantastic. I was so pleased with his defensive effort tonight. The offensive game, like I told you guys, he's not gonna shoot 50% from the 3-point line every night or give us 27 points. What he's gonna give us is what we saw in that fourth quarter. So shout out to him. And so it's gonna be interesting to see how the season progresses in terms of who's closing in the fourth quarter. But again, I repeat, I agree with Thibs' decision to keep RJ on the bench for this one game in the fourth quarter. He got off to a slow start in this game, but he picked it up in the second half, and he was instrumental in helping the Knicks create a lead. But it was such a tight game, and you know that Hart is going to give you those exact hustle plays. But let me tell you, RJ, he poked the ball away. Actually, I don't remember exactly how many steals he had. But let's see what he had here. RJ, he only got credit with 1 steal, but he got a block also. He had two stocks. He actually got. I think he just picked up the loose ball in one other situation. Actually, it was because it was Hart guarding Beal on that play. But he made a good effort tonight, a very good effort tonight. So I think it was good to keep him on the bench. I don't want to lose my train of thought there. For this game, to show him how he needs to be when he's out on the floor, especially in end game crunch time. It was good. There was a moment. There was a moment when there was a timeout, or no, it was like someone made a great play. I think it was probably Randle. Late in this fourth quarter, made a great play. Could have been IQ or Brunson. I can't remember who it was. And they showed a shot of the bench. They were all standing. They were cheering. But RJ was behind the guys in the front. He was standing, but you could see it pained him to not be on the court. And that pain is good. Because if you want to be one of the guys, that should hurt you. And you need to respond to that. So we're going to see. And he has in the past. We've seen Thibs has done this. He did this 2 seasons ago. Even when they were making that run for the 4th seed, he ended up getting his way back into the closing lineup. Because back then, remember, we had Bullock, we had Burks, and even Payton. So there were options for Thibs to close games out with a more defensive focused options, and he did a few times. So RJ's facing that again. It's up to him. All he's got to do is tighten up that. Play the same kind of defense he played tonight. He replicates that every night. He's going to be back on in the closing lineups. I definitely feel it, which is awesome. Now, let's get to where we go. Oh, here are the team stats. Well, nothing that dramatic here. I mean, the Knicks got so many second chance points. It was fantastic. Look at the points in the paint. We destroyed them 58-32. Only committed 17 fouls. I was very proud of that. But the beautiful stat here is 12 turnovers. Knicks are one of the stingiest teams in terms of turning the ball over. Love that. 9 steals. Only 2 blocks tonight, but 43 rebounds, plus 9 in the rebounds column right there. All right, look at that. Randle, he is key to what the Knicks can possibly do. I know we've been talking about Brunson. I know we were, Brunson should have been an all-star. And I don't know, he rattled off how many games in a row where he scored 30 points. I think he averaged 30 points for like a 10, 15 game stretch or whatever. Fabulous. But Julius Randle, his ability to stroke that three-point shot right now is for real. It's the best I've ever seen him shoot the three-point shot. Better than even 2 seasons ago when he was an All-NBAer. He is so locked in right now, and he's got the step back going. It's a beautiful thing. Can he give you a performance like this every night? Of course not. No one does, except for Walt Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain. I was going to say Walt Frazier, but Will Chamberlain. Let's get to this point here. Here we go. So, there's 21 games left. I went already through the remaining 22 games, and I had predicted the Knicks could win 15 of those 22 games. 15-7. Then I was like, I was like, wait a second, really? Maybe it's more like 14-8. They can go 14-8, which would be good enough. Would have been good enough to finish with 47 wins. I think if the Knicks can get to 48 or 49 wins, especially with the way that the Nets, I have a feeling, are going to free fall, in my opinion. The Cavs are starting to face some trouble, some issues right now. It's a long season. They've won 60% of their games. Can they continue winning at that pace for the remainder of the season? I don't see it. So if they are a 500 team for the rest of the season, the Knicks have a very legitimate chance of jumping up to get that 4th seed. How delicious would that be? Oh, man. The Knicks, so 48 wins. I think 48 wins can get you I think 48 could get you the 4th seed, or at least be in the conversation for it. Because teams like the Sixers, the Bucks, Giannis got hurt tonight. So who knows what will happen. Injuries play a huge part in this, especially in the final stretch, the final quarter of the season. That's what we're in now. We're crossing over into the final quarter of the season, the final 21 games. And the Sixers do look pretty good, by the way. I was giving them a hard time because, again, I don't like to give teams credit for anything until they actually prove it, until they can get to an Eastern Conference Finals at least, or a Western Conference Finals. That's when I feel like a team can have that moxie, that attitude, and you can believe that they're a real threat to winning it all. So, but they are on the rise. They're on the verge of proving that right now. They're right now currently 20 games over 500, and the Knicks are 7 games over 500 for the first time in this season. I'm hyped. I'm hyped, but I'm also trying to keep it under control because anything can happen at this point. And we're actually very Randle dependent at the moment. I know we think we're Brunson dependent, but we're much more Randle dependent. If we lost Randle for a stretch of games, even though I'm a believer in Obi, it would require the team to play very differently. And I don't think, and then it would take time to adjust, and there just isn't that much time left. So Randle's the key. If he keeps playing the way he's been playing, if he can average 30 points a game for the remainder of the season, I think very realistic possibility the Knicks climb up at least into the 5th seed, and 4th seed is very possible. Man, you make it to the 4th seed, that means we will play in the first round. Unfortunately, in this case, we would play the Sixers. So maybe it is better for the Knicks, because who knows what's going to happen with the Bucks? Because if Giannis is out for any amount of games, and yet it's still too early to know, if he's out for any amount of games, I mean, they're not going to continue playing at the pace. They're going to play 7-12 ball. So their winning percentage is going to drop, and it's possible that at that point, because the Sixers are only 2.5 games behind, the Sixers could jump up to number 2. So let's just play that scenario out. If Milwaukee, let's say Giannis is hurt, and Milwaukee drops to third. The Knicks continue playing the way they've been playing. They've won 4 straight already. Maybe let's say the Knicks never lose during the Hart era. All right, no, I'm kidding. But let's say they keep playing, and they end up getting enough wins to get into that 4th seed. Then we'll be facing a wounded Bucks team. That sounds much better to me than a full strength Sixers team that is just on the rise. So let's see how this goes. Injuries are a big part of this final home stretch, and the Knicks are finally at full strength with Mitch coming back. I thought it was a very good first game back for Mitch, considering sometimes he's not quite in game condition shape, but he definitely was tonight. He closed the game. I'm really excited about this team, man. Really excited, and I got to give a shout out to Thibs. He's made major changes. His approach to how he's closing quarters, how he's closing the game itself. He's making adjustments that are based upon the conditions of the game. Love that. He is putting a lot of emphasis on the team, even though the team only took 29 3-point shots tonight, but when you hear him in the post-game interviews and stuff, he wants them to take more. Those are high-value shots as far as he's concerned. Getting to the free throw line is a high-value shot. Driving into the paint, finishing in the paint. And now he's got the bigs on the Knicks drop coverage much less. I would say it's been cut in half now. They still do it from time to time. They still do it. It's not completely out of their scheme, but he's reduced it by at least 50%, just the eyeball test. His willingness to, sometimes the ball still does get stuck, but we're seeing more so, especially in those last 5 minutes of the game, the ball keeps moving. There's less ISO. There you go. That's a big shift for Thibs. He's got them out. What else he's been doing? The way they're defending pick and rolls, much better than they were in the early part of the season. His substitution patterns have changed tremendously. In fact, let's go back to look at the minutes. Okay, Randle did play 36 minutes. Brunson played 39 minutes. That's heavy. That's a heavy minutes. Those have to be adjusted. But as of late, he had been playing them less. So let's hope that he can keep doing that. Brunson, 39 minutes. Wow. Well, but he hasn't played in over a week, so it's not that big a deal. But they play tomorrow. This team plays tomorrow. So you want to be, but this was a game they had to win. It was a tight game. So you can't, that's a situation where you can't fault the substitution patterns and the minutes allotment. As you saw, the Wizards didn't want to go away, and you weren't going to sit Brunson. So you had to play him. So in this situation, I totally agree. But tomorrow, if they're in a similar situation, that's where Thibs is going to have to really do some major coaching. Because you don't want to burn these guys out, because then on Monday we have a big game. It's like one game after the other. It's big. I think we play the Celtics coming up. Who do we play next? I think it is the Celtics. Let's see here. Just to be 100%. No, we play it's the Pelicans. Yeah, which is a totally winnable game. On Monday, we play the Celtics at MSG. That's when we play the Celtics. Huge games. All right, let's go 6 in a row. Let's do it. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Drop your comments. Hit the thumbs up button. Love the comments. And subscribe if you haven't yet. We're at 6,900. Want to get to 7,000. Want to get to 7,000 before we get to that playoffs. Let's do it. All right, thank you. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.